Kent Myers. I'm Mick Cornett.
It's time for The Verdict. The Verdict is a lively discussion of current events and legal issues pertinent to Oklahomans. The Verdict is hosted by Kent Myers and Mick Cornett. The Verdict is sponsored in part by the Able Law Firm. It's time for The Verdict.
And welcome once again to The Verdict. I'm Mick Cornett, and I'm joined as always by one of Oklahoma's top legal experts, Kent Myers. Kent, what's up today?
A healthy show. We're going to have Dr. Mary Ann Bauman with us, a name and face that will be familiar to many of our viewers as she often appears on some of our competing stations, such as KWTV. But she's also the medical director in certain capacities, particularly in relation to women's issues at Integris Health. And she's going to be talking to us about the 17th Annual Women's Health Forum that begins tomorrow. But we're also going to, after talking about the forum, talk a little bit about healthy lifestyles, things that we can do to remain in better health. And she's got a lot of good information to share with us.
She does. Look forward to it. This morning, Dr. Mary Ann Bauman. It's next on The Verdict.
The Journal-Record is pleased to be a sponsor of The Verdict. The Journal-Record, since 1903, the best source of Oklahoma business news and legal information.
St. Gregory's University has been changing the lives of people like me for 125 years. Affordable, private Catholic education, balanced with dedication to community and service, makes St. Gregory special. We're extremely proud of our students' outstanding academic achievements and our nationally ranked athletic teams. It's when you help a student build a future of balance, integrity, and service that you change a life forever. St. Gregory's, a community for life.
American Express Tax and Business Services. We're accountants. We do taxes, business valuations, estate planning, and consulting. And we're right here in Oklahoma, working with the owners of small and medium-sized businesses. Steve Wilsey and Stuart Meyer have the resources and the experience. American Express Tax and Business Services. In Oklahoma City, the phone number is 405-843-5311.
Bringing out the best in each student. That is the simple goal and tradition of Heritage Hall. The focus on the individual shapes the educational experience at Heritage Hall. Each student benefits from small classes, able, dedicated teachers, a solid academic curriculum, and exceptional co-curricular programs of athletics, arts, community service, and other activities, parental involvement, personalized counseling, and the development of responsibility, integrity, and love of learning. If you want education taught with pride, then you want Heritage Hall.
Choose Life license plates are now available for only $25. $20 of each plate sold will go towards help making adoption a more viable option in Oklahoma. Visit your local tag agency or www.chooselife.org and download an application today. For more information, visit the website on your screen.
And welcome back to The Verdict. Mick Cornett with Kent Myers is going to introduce our guest.
We are very pleased today to have Dr. Mary Ann Bauman join us. Mary Ann, we captured her from Michigan since in 1989. She grew up in the Detroit area, was educated at Detroit University and Wayne State University, where she obtained her MD degree. She's currently the medical director at Integris Internal Medicine Center here in Oklahoma City, and is also medical director for the Women's Health Institute at Integris. She's been very active in health issues, including women's health issues, and is here in part to talk to us about the Women's Health Forum. And our verdict holder-upper person, Mick Cornett, is doing that with a brochure now that we want to get a shot of. Mary Ann, thanks for joining us here on The Verdict.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, we appreciate you coming, and we want to get you back. What we've got shown, what Mick just showed, was the brochure for the Women's Health Forum. This is the 17th year,
Yes, it is.
What has been your experience in the past with what benefits have been obtained from the Women's Health Forum, and why does Integris do this?
This is a big program for Integris. It is a big commitment for Integris, and our mission is to improve the health of the people in the communities we serve. That's what the Health Forum is designed to do. If we can educate people, if we can bring them information on preventive health, on the newest procedures, on how to take care of themselves, how to take care of their families, we feel we're doing a service to our community.
Now, this forum is open to everybody. Anybody that wants to attend. I guess some of the programs have a charge for, and some do not.
It's absolutely open to everyone. We call it the Women's Health Forum, but it is really a health forum for men and for women. Lots of the programs here will appeal to the men in the family as well as the women. Everything is free except the luncheons, and then we only charge to cover the luncheon. So it's just a wonderful opportunity for people to get some information.
Well, tell us what's going to happen. Give us some examples.
Well, we start tomorrow, and we'll be speaking about a number of different topics. We have programs about technology, some new ways to handle fibroid tumors, carotid artery disease, where you have the blockages in the neck that can lead to strokes, peripheral vascular disease, where you have blockages in the legs that can lead to pain in the legs when you walk, gangrene, lots of heart programs. The Integris Heart Center is a wonderful supporter of this program and one of our sponsors. We have how to help raise your family, grandparents raising grandchildren. This is a new issue these days.
So social issues as well as what I would call medical issues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's been an interesting change over the years. When I first started in 1991 at Integris, which was Baptist Hospital at that time and has much expanded since, everyone wanted to know about the latest technology. That was the major thing they wanted. Now people want to know about the technology because the internet has brought so much information, but they also want to know how to take care of themselves and their families from the emotional standpoint.
Well, you're going to have some big names as well.
We are. We have Rue McClanahan coming, and she is a native Oklahoman. And
Trivia question for our viewers.
Yes.
Rue McClanahan is from?
Hinton.
Hilton.
Hilton, excuse me.
That's all right. Us native Okies know it is Hilton. What other popular person been on the show bunch is from Hilton, Nick?
That would be Sherry Cole.
Sherry Cole. Two fine ladies from Hilton, Oklahoma. Not a very big town, but have produced some pretty powerful people.
Both very feisty.
Very similar. There's something in the water down there that you ought to check out as a doctor. You're going to have Rue McClanahan. Whom else are you going to have that our viewers will know?
One of the other speakers that we're very interested in is Alexandra Stoddard. Now, she is from HGTV, and she's actually going to have furniture on the stage at Rose State. Bob Mills has provided us with furniture, and she's going to decorate it and how to make your living space help to keep you happy. We also have Don Hebert coming, and he is a local speaker, and he's talking about how little boys speak differently than little girls and how this goes throughout people's lives and can make a difference in the communication skills.
You mean
of
the
both.
words they speak are different?
The way they speak are different. The way they speak are different. And so I think this is an excellent program for parents of boys and girls so they can begin to understand that a little bit.
How many have you had attending in the past, and how many do you expect to attend this time?
We generally have anywhere from about 4,000 to 6,000 people who come. That's
Wow.
men and women over the course of the time. So it is a big program. I've even had women tell me that they schedule their vacations from work during the time of the Women's Health Forum so that they can make the programs that they want to make.
And physically, where is it?
Number of different locations. We have programs at Baptist in the auditorium. We have programs at the Waterford. We have programs at Southwest, which, as you know, is a part of Integris. And we have programs at Chartell Church of God. And then Rue McClanahan and Alexandra Stoddard are at Rose State. So we're kind of circling the city with where our programs are available.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot. We also have programs at Yukon, at Canadian Valley Hospital there, our hospital in Yukon.
And it starts tomorrow, but for how long does it continue?
It'll go until the 27th. Programs all through the next 2 weeks.
And you've got some information about whom we might contact and how others can get information.
You can call the Integris Health line at 951-2277. If you're calling from long distance, put an 888 in front of it, and it's free. Or you can call the Integris or use the Integris website at integrisok.com.
And we have that on the screen right now. And when you go to the website, I assume it'll lead you to a complete schedule of subject matter, locations?
Absolutely. You order by number, you register. We do want people to register, and there are lots of sessions still open, so don't be afraid because it starts tomorrow that there's not something there for you.
I know our viewers will say, well, is Mary Ann going to be saying something? What would her topic be, and when is it?
I am speaking tomorrow at noon. There's a luncheon session, and I'm speaking about the choices and how our choices affect our lives and how we have more choices than we often think that we do. This is something for women who often feel that they are boxed in and do not have choices in life, and we're going to talk about how you really do.
All right, we're going to talk a lot more to you in this next segment about lifestyle in Oklahoma and how people can encourage other members of their family and themselves also to choose healthier lifestyles, some eating habits, some social habits.
I've got some strong feelings about these next topics.
It's next. Dr. Mary Ann Bauman on The Verdict.
The Able Law Firm, based in Oklahoma City and recognized nationally for its superior legal ability and very high ethical standards. If you've been injured or believe someone you love has been a victim and needs to talk to an attorney, call the Able Law Firm. Initial consultations are free. The Able Law Firm. In Oklahoma City, the number is 239-7046.
All children deserve a life with hope and love, but sometimes they experience a life of pain, neglect, and abuse.
When that happens, each child deserves all the quality assistance and representation that can be offered in our legal system. For more information, call 23-CHILD.
Oklahoma Lawyers for Children, helping to bring hope and love back to the lives of abused children.
Where is the next generation of women leaders? The ones who blaze trails and fire our imaginations, who laugh at words like can't and never. Where are they? The same place they've always been, Girl Scouts, where girls grow strong. Call 1-800-GS-USA for you today and mentor someone remarkable.
Mick Cornett and Kent Myers back on The Verdict. This week's guest is Dr. Mary Ann Bauman. Kent?
Dr. Bowman, a recent Oklahoma Health Department study indicated that Oklahomans are not in very good health. Why is that the case?
I know. I saw that study, and having patients, I know it's true. We're number 1 and number 2 in heart disease and stroke in the country. It's because of our lifestyle.
Well, it just seems incredible to me. You know, I don't know whether you check surrounding states or not, but I mean, we seem to be in substantially worse condition than anybody else in the country. And why would Oklahoma have?
What are we doing?
What are we doing wrong?
Well, you know, there's quite a fierce independence in Oklahoma. You know, there's that feeling that nobody's going to tell me what to do, and this is the way that I live my life, which has served us very well in many circumstances. But in this case, we are very slow to make the changes, to recognize the problems. Now, the interesting thing is that people know the risk factors for heart disease, for stroke. They know that smoking is bad, but it doesn't translate into changes in behavior.
Well, I think we want magic pills. I mean, we want a magic pill to solve all of these ills, and why doesn't medical science create something?
For us.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. In other words, you know, I tell people about fruits and vegetables. Well, what they want to do is take a fruit and vegetable pill. Unfortunately, the studies show that fruit and vegetable pills don't work. You need to do the fruits and vegetables, but we do want it quick. That's one of the reasons we're so reliant and dependent on fast food. We can grab it, we can think about it, we can instantaneously have it, we can do it, eat it in our car, we can get home with it, we don't have to prepare any foods, we don't have to do any of those kinds of things.
Well, and you drive up to a fast food restaurant, which I do every once in a while, and they always want to know if I want to supersize it or something. I mean, they want to give me more cholesterol.
They're just being friendly.
That's right.
Just trying to be helpful.
Giving you a good bargain. I call them Jurassic Park portions, and it's not just fast food. It's every restaurant you go to. There's more food there than you can possibly eat. It's high fat, it's high salt, it's high sugar. And one of my other things is, what do? We eat that, and then we ask for a doggy bag, whether we have a dog or not, and we take it home and we eat the same food the next day. One simple thing to do, never take a doggy bag. Throw it away.
You have a little statement about the Oklahoma State meal that
Yes,
I heard you discuss before.
Once for one of my stories on Channel 9, I calculated out the calories and the fat content of the Oklahoma State meal. Chicken fried steak, biscuits and gravy, okra, fried okra, that's one of my things. We take this wonderful vegetable, and what do? We deep fry it. Pecan pie, I think it was something like 3,000 calories for the meal and an ungodly number of fat grams.
What about exercise?
We don't. We talk about it.
Well, now, we're outdoorsy people. We're
Yes.
frontier people. You'd think that we
You'd
would
think we
exercise
would.
as much or more than anyone.
You know, it's become a real joke when someone tells me they have a treadmill, because I ask them if they're hanging their clothes on it. And they look at me sheepishly and say, well, yes. It makes a great clothes rack in your bedroom or wherever it is. We have the equipment, we have the things, but we just don't do it, in part because of our busy lifestyles. But as I tell my patients, we all waste 20 to 30 minutes 3 to 4 times a week. We all do. So if we'll just translate that, and I don't care what you do, walk, ride, swim, jog, stand in place in front of the television and move, and you'll get a great workout. You just have to get your body moving regularly.
What about stretching? Are you much on that?
Well, it's very interesting, because there was a study done with stretching, okay? And they did it with runners who stretched all the time, who never stretched, and who sometimes stretched and sometimes didn't. And what they found was that the people who stretched sometimes and sometimes didn't had the largest number of injuries. The people who never stretched or the people who stretched all the time had less. And I was just talking with a gentleman, Eric Dalton, who does a lot of sports injury types of things, and he made a very good point. He said, you know, the stretching that we do before we run, where we put our leg up and we bend over, or where you're golfing and you're putting behind and bending, is the worst stretching, because you're stretching the wrong muscles. The best way to stretch before an activity is to do the activity in slow motion. So if you're running, you're almost moving in slow motion. If you're golfing, you're just practicing your golf swing very slowly, and that will stretch the muscles that you're going to use.
Let's go back to obesity just for a second. That seems to be an underlying cause of what, stroke and heart disease?
Oh, yes, stroke and heart disease, higher incidence of breast cancer. There's just multiple things that happen with obesity, and it's epidemic in our country, and it's epidemic in Oklahoma.
Seems to be worse here than elsewhere.
Well, it is worse here than a lot of other states. There are some states that are similar, but yes, we are worse.
Okay. Do Oklahomans smoke more than average?
Yes. We are one of the highest smoking states as well. It's the smoking, it is how we eat. We're not quitting smoking. And you know, what interesting thing is the death rate in smoking or in heart disease across the country has decreased by almost 50% in men. And they attribute that to men quitting smoking. Women are not quitting smoking, and the death rate is not going down. And in Oklahoma, we have a lower percentage of people quitting, men and women.
I know you're a physician, not a psychologist, but why would women be more likely to continue to smoke than men? If, I mean, they certainly can perceive the health risks as well.
Well, I think in part it was a very successful campaign. You know, the Virginia Slims and all of that kind of thing that started it out. And I think many people use smoking as a relaxation type of a thing. Kids start smoking. 5,000 teenagers start smoking every single day because it's cool, and then people get hooked. And it's very difficult to stop smoking. Men have heart disease at an earlier age, so I think that's been part of the impetus for men to quit smoking. Women have heart disease at a later age, presumably because our estrogen protects us, and so that habit is far more firmly entrenched.
You mentioned kids. Just briefly, how early and what kind of early childhood education should we have to improve our lifestyles?
Obesity in children is growing as well. This is a problem because our kids are more sedentary. They're in on the computer instead of out running around. I think the time to start is from the time they are young toddlers. Now, I'm not talking about restricting their diets. They need whole milk. They need these things. What they need is the example of the parents. They need to know that we sit down for a meal. They need to know that they have fruits and vegetables as snacks. They're not drinking a ton of pop every day. That's not the thing that they use. And if you do that all through their early lives, they'll learn those habits.
Give us 3 choices here in the few seconds that we have left that Oklahomans can do to improve their health.
I think the major things that I would recommend for Oklahomans is, number 1, quit smoking. I know it's difficult, but you know you can do it. People have done it. I have people in my practice every day who do it. Number 2, quit eating out so much. If we eat at home, sit down for a meal, you will definitely eat more healthily. And 3, get up and move. Exercise is the absolute key to this. Exercise raises your resting metabolic rate so that you use calories more efficiently. But if you go 72 hours without exercise, it drops back down to baseline. So these are things that any one of us can do. You have to make it a priority. You can find the time if you'll just do it.
Women's Health Forum starts tomorrow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck this week.
And
Thanks for having
coming.
me. Thank you so much. This has been fun.
Good. Kent and I'll be right back.
This is no simple reform. It really is a revolution, a revolution, a revolution, a revolution.
On my honor, I will do my best.
To do my duty to God and my country.
And to obey the Scout law. To help other people at all times. To keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Morally straight. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
The Boy Scouts of America, where above all else, character counts.
The Able Law Firm, based in Oklahoma City and recognized nationally for its superior legal ability and very high ethical standards. If you've been injured or believe someone you love has been a victim and needs to talk to an attorney, call the Able Law Firm. Initial consultations are free. The Able Law Firm. In Oklahoma City, the number is 239-7046.
All children deserve a life with hope and love, but sometimes they experience a life of pain, neglect, and abuse.
When that happens, each child deserves all the quality assistance and representation that can be offered in our legal system. For more information, call 23-CHILD.
Oklahoma Lawyers for Children, helping to bring hope and love back to the lives of abused children.
Where is the next generation of women leaders? The ones who blaze trails and fire our imaginations, who laugh at words like can't and never. Where are they? The same place they've always been, Girl Scouts, where girls grow strong. Call 1-800-GS-USA for you today and mentor someone remarkable.
Do you need up to $500 fast? Now you can get the cash you need without driving to a loan store. More bills than money? Just pick up the phone. Qualify in 2 minutes or less for up to $500. National Money Service can help you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As one of the nation's largest providers of cash advances, we help thousands of people every day. Upon approval, money is electronically deposited directly into your bank account.
You're welcome. The money you need will be in your account tomorrow.
Thank you so much. What a relief.
Let us help you with unplanned car repair bills, medical bills, household repairs, or anything else you need money for. So if you need up to $500 before your next paycheck, we can help.
Call now.
Call National Money Service now.
The average American has 14 credit cards, a balance due of over $7,000, pays $83 a month in interest alone.
I'm Kevin Martin for H&R Block Mortgage. Call us today to get control over credit card and other debt. With mortgage interest rates as low as they've been in years, it makes perfect sense to refinance now. H&R Block Mortgage makes it simple. Call for a free custom mortgage analysis. You can consolidate all your debt, lower your monthly payments, get a bigger tax break, and even put cash in your pocket.
H&R Block Mortgage.
They customized it for me.
Call 800-693-3217 for your free, no-obligation custom analysis and regain control over debt.
It's one simple phone call.
Call 800-693-3217. That's 800-693-3217.
Mick Cornett and Kent Myers back to wrap up another edition of The Verdict. I mean, she was a fascinating guest.
Well, she is. She's certainly knows what she's talking about, and she's about to share it once again in the 17th year of the Women's Health Forum put on by Integris. Gosh, we seem to have a show of number ones. We have had people on from the OU football program as number one in the country. We've had people on talking about women incarcerated, and we're number one in that as well. And now we find out we're number one or number two in heart disease and stroke. I just don't know what it is about Oklahoma that seems to bring out the extremes. But we seem to be on the edge on most categories. The Women's Health Forum is quite a service rendered by Integris. And I hope our viewers will take advantage of going to see it, look at the program that starts tomorrow, and pick out something that is of interest. Marianne Bowman's very kind to share her time. She's awfully busy, and I think she gave our viewers some really good information.
Well, let's give our viewers a chance to get some more information, especially on the Women's Health Forum. Let me put up the phone number that you can call for more information. It is 1-888-951-2277. Or you can go to Integris' website, which is integrisok.com. Let me also give you the Verdict's website, because we want you to go there and tell us a future guest or a future topic that you'd like to see us discuss. And that address is theverdict.tv. Thanks again to our guest, Dr. Mary Ann Bauman. For Kent Myers, I'm Mick Cornett. We'll see you next time on The Verdict.
Watching The Verdict with Kent Myers and Mick Cornett. The Verdict is sponsored in part by the Able Law Firm,